Hi everybody, it's Jen with Caketastic Cakes, and I'm going to show you how I made a Charmander, and this is actually out of Play-Doh. And I was just messing around when I made him, but this could very easily be adapted into a cake topper made out of gum paste or fondant if you add a little CMC powder to him. So I figured it can't hurt to share, right? A cake topper is a cake topper. Alright, I'm starting out with 4 colors. Again, because this is Play-Doh, this is what I had. Technically, he should have blue eyes with some black and white in them. I didn't have it, so, you can see what I'm doing here. The technique is pretty sound. I have 2 large balls and then 5 smaller ones. The one small one there I've got in my hand, I'm rolling out into a very elongated teardrop shape, and this is going to become Charizard's tail. I take a little bit of the red, I'm going to call it, and I just wrap it around the end of his tail. I had made it a little rough and raggedy to make it look more like flames rather than a nice perfect little circle. And then I'm going to make his little bottom paws. Again, a couple more of the small balls. I flatten them out and elongate them so they're now kind of like flattened teardrops, sort of. And I'm using my knife blade to make 2 indentations into them to make little toe separations. His other feet, I guess I'm going to call them, are again teardrop shapes, but I'm not going to flatten these. I'm flattening them on the end rather than on the bottom. So they're more like cones standing on their heads. Now this is just a piece of light yellow. I'm going to pinch it out into an oval shape and lay it around the one ball that I've made. The ball is now kind of more oval shaped. It is a little bit more up and down than wide. And I'm going to use the back of my knife again to put a couple of impressions in it to make the little lines on his belly scales. I'm guessing he's got belly scales. Now those little legs that I made that are flat on the bottom like cones go on the bottom, just like that, on the bottom of his body. And I'm using tiny little pieces of the light yellow. This is where the white would come in if you actually have white, to make little teeny tiny teardrops. And I'm putting 3 on top of each foot to make his little toe claws. Because if you're used to Charizard, or if you're Charmander, and you're looking at a picture of him, you're going to see he's got like 3 little toe claws on each bottom foot rather than proper toenails or toes for that matter. Now his little upper arms are the ones that I put the little indentations in, and I'm just wrapping them around the sides of his body. So they sit kind of above his legs. And this is a real simple design too, so it's very easy to do, and it's very cute, so, not a lot of technique here. As far as his head goes, it's going to be that other ball. His head and body balls, when you start out, are going to be about the same size. He's got an enormous noggin. I ended up taking a little bit off because I felt like it was too big, but, whatever. So when I made this, I flattened the bottom a little bit, as you can see, and I pressed 2 big indentations with my knuckles to create eye sockets, or at least, where the eyes will be. I used my knife to open up his mouth down bottom because I had kind of shaped it into a little bit of a muzzle there. I'm using the back of a lollipop, I'm using my paintbrush to make a couple indentations, a couple holes for his eyes. And his eyes are a little bit more oval shaped, so just keep that in mind, up and down oval shaped. I'm using some blue Play-Doh, again, if you have fondant or something else, that'll look a little better, to fill it in. And I mixed a little bit of all the colors I had because I didn't have black. Again, this is where the black would come in to make his pupils and his irises. I'm using some light yellow to create a couple highlights. Again, that's where white would work. You'd also want to use white on his toenails, those 3 toenails on his bottom feet, as well as his teeth and the highlights. It would just look a little better, but this really doesn't look bad for just messing around with Play-Doh. He came out cute. I put a couple little marks, little holes in his nose to give him his nostrils. A couple more of those little teardrop shapes, one going up and one going down on each side of his mouth, right where his mouth opens a little bit. In this case, I'm using a toothpick. I don't recommend it for cake decorations. Since this is Play-Doh, I was just screwing around. But if you're going to put it on a cake, use a piece of dry lollipop a piece of dry spaghetti or a lollipop stick. That would work best and be safe. And I'm just pressing the tail onto the back of his rump there. I put a little extra light yellow just for the heck of it. And there you have a cute little Charmander. So he's easy to make. You could certainly make this out of gum paste or fondant for a cake decoration. And it comes out great. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe because it helps me out as well. We can help each other. I have a ton of other videos out there, so take a look, all kinds of genres. I'm sure you'll find something else you like. And as always, thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.